Panther. Boy, Marvel, I'll tell you, they can do no wrong right now. I don't want to jinx it, but this was a really fun movie. Went with the family. All four of us went to see it. And, and it's a range. We're in our mid to late 40s. I have a 9-year-old and a 12-year-old. Everyone loved it. Everyone really loved the film.
It does that thing that Marvel does so well, which is that Marvel has never done. Each one of their films is a unique genre within the comic book character.
Yes.
So this was sort of like almost like a Lord of the Rings type film. Like it was. They've never done a movie like this that covered this thing. And then, I mean, the entire cast is black. The entire, like that
almost, except for Martin Freeman.
And even him, I was like, do we really need him?
You know what? That's interesting. I felt the same way. I felt like Martin Freeman really kind of feels shoehorned in.
Why do we need him in the movie? Just to say, oh, hey, there's one white guy?
There's a CIA operative in the movie, but does he really need to be there? Is he doing a lot? Is he moving anything forward? Now, it's interesting. When he's introduced, there's this isn't a spoiler, there's a casino scene where a weapons deal is going down with the vibranium, and the CIA being involved, completely believable. Sure. I can see there's some kind of plot to catch the arms dealer or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I could see him being in that scene. But then as the movie progressed, I'm like, well, now I just feel like they just had him for a couple extra days and they kept him in the movie because his character didn't have a lot to do after that.
And the other characters are so much more interesting, like those bald women that were like the security team.
Well, the security team, and then there was also the general.
Right.
And you also have...
She was a badass. It's just like, I want to see more of that.
Right.
Like, I don't need to see Martin Freeman fumbling around.
The thing that surprised me, and I didn't realize this, because you don't know this from the trailer, it looked like only a small part of the movie was going to actually take place in Wakanda, and the rest would kind of open up into the rest of the world, was it Korea? Where would they go? Seoul?
Yeah, they were in Korea.
They were in Korea, and... but it wasn't. Most of the movie actually took place in Wakanda, and we had a couple of trips outside of it, but mostly that's where we were. And some of those trips outside of Wakanda were flashbacks.
Yeah, I liked that it was all in Wakanda, and I liked and we'll go into the spoiler rep that we'll release later this week, but
it felt like
Michael B. Jordan's character, the social commentary he was bringing into it. I don't want to spoil it.
As a villain.
Villain was like, I love when a villain isn't just 100% bad.
Right.
When there's a justification, kind of like, Sheila, what you were talking about in terms of the characters in Hostiles and Wes Study as his process as an actor of bringing in a humanity and a motivation. I remember reading an interview with, I'm blanking on this actor's name. He played Mussolini. He was in The Heat of the Night. Mm-hmm. What's that classic actor's name? The cop in The Heat of the Night. Come on.
Oh, Sidney Poitier?
No, not from the TV series. From the movie. The guy who played Carol O'Connor's character in the movie. This is the worst. Oh, God, classic actor. Anyway, this is the worst. But he played Mussolini once, and he said...
Look it up for us, Aaron.
Yeah, sorry. I don't want to mess with this computer. But as an actor, he was like, how do you play Mussolini? He was evil. He was just a torturer. Right. How do you do it? And he said, I, the actor, said, I'm doing everything for my daughter. So that was my motivation, to give the actor humanity so that it is a three-dimensional character that's believable. And that's what it sounds like happened in Hostiles, which made Hostiles good. And that's what I liked, because this is a comic book movie. It's easy to make the villain just bad guy, comes in, crazy haircut, says crazy things, blows everything up. Now, but he was so justified, and his character was so kind of conflicted. And
I will say this about some trivia with Michael B. Jordan. He kept to himself while on set, reasoning that his character, Killmonger, is distant and in conflict with the other characters. As an actor, can't you just show up and do your job?
Yeah, that's taking it a bit well. I don't know.
You really, it's like when Jared Leto was playing jokes on everyone else during Suicide Squad, because that's what the
Jim
Joker
Carrey
would do.
Right.
You're an actor. Just show up and do your job. You don't have to be an asshole on set.
It's their method, I guess.
That's your method. Yeah.
But still, I agree with you. As an actor, I wouldn't want to be on set with people who are that way. But I guess, if at the end of the day, whatever it takes to make a good picture,
Yeah.
Suffer for your art.
I agree with that. Like the overall, I agree with that. Like, But I'm always reminded of Sir Laurence Olivier and Dustin Hoffman when they were doing Marathon Man, and Dustin Hoffman was like wearing weights around the set to feel the weight of the world, and Laurence Olivier goes, Mr. Hoffman, perhaps you should try acting.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, aren't you? If you're an actor, isn't that your thing? You can.
Right.
It's like comics. I don't need to be joking around backstage 24. I can just like walk on stage and be
It's
fun.
quite the opposite. Yeah. Or when I meet someone, or like I'm out on a date and they're like, but you're supposed to be funny. I'm like, I am a human being. I am 3-dimensional as well. Yeah. Exactly.
I want to go see Hostels on a date.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Hello.
If you're a chef, you're not going to be cooking all the time.
No.
Yeah. Or accountant, like, hold on, let me math this for you really fast.
I've got a great spreadsheet I want you to see on our date.
I only date guys who carry around PowerPoints. Sorry. This will never work.
Do you have the Quicken app? I do.
So, Aaron, did you find out who that was?
I'm on microphone now, and it's Rod Steiger.
Rod
Steiger, of course.
Right. So Rod Steiger was in the Heat of the Night film.
Right.
He's amazing. And he played Mussolini, and he gave this great story of like, this is how I got into playing Mussolini. And so, it was cool. That's what I liked about Michael B. Jordan. And again, this is what Marvel does so well. Big budget, big cool special effects, chases, car chains, explosions.
But the movie had a heart.
It had a heart. It had a story. It had 3 acts. It had well-developed characters.
You know what? I really felt even the production design, like the attention to detail of what Wakanda looked like, because it was a technologically advanced society that was hidden from the rest of the world. So when you look at it, it looked like after you got past like the tree barrier that was like an illusion, it looked like a weird African version of Blade Runner. The way, you've got almost like the flying cars and, the trains, and you've got the high rises and all the lights. And I thought it was really interesting just from even a production design standpoint. Like they really did a nice job with the attention to detail, just with all the eye candy. Now, if none of that would matter if you didn't have an interesting story or good characters too, which you do, I'll tell you, the supporting characters were so strong, it almost made like the actual Black Panther character feel a little more supporting, because you had, the mother, you had the sister, you had the general, you had, like you were saying, all the warrior women, and then you had.
To me, it's what made Martin Freeman stand out. Is like,
well, we don't need another character. We have
another
a lot.
character who's kind of.
We have
two-dimensional.
We have warring tribes. We have like inside Wakanda. We had that as well, and then we also had the arms dealer, Claw, I think his name was.
Yes.
So you have him as well as a villain, and played by Andy Serkis too. And
he was great.
He's great. He's great even without a mocap suit. He is really fun.
It was
to watch.
great to see him play that creepy bad guy.
Right.
This big,
right.
evil Goonie dude.
And what I love about Marvel too is like, there's always Easter eggs in previous films. They're like, oh, that's the guy from Age of Ultron,
right?
That was like interested in the vibranium, and all the Marvel nerds are like, well, that's gonna like myself, or like that's gonna come back later. We're gonna hear about Wakanda and Black Panther and vibranium again. What I really liked about the movie is the social commentary that it raised, and it didn't take the easy way out, which I liked. And I don't want to give too much away. We'll get into it more in the spoiler app, but what it did was it's one of those movies who, well, it's a popcorn movie. We can't really solve anything or or fix anything or take any chances, and it did. It did. It did make some nice commentary.
There's some. I mean, there's like, again, we don't want to. I'm going to spoil it here, but there's a lot of like holding 1%ers accountable for the situation of the inequities of wealth in this world currently that they air out in this film, which I like.
Yes.
It doesn't have to just be, bad guy has bomb that will blow up the world, or just
right. And now we have a ticking clock.
Right, red wire, blue wire, kind of thing, or whatever.
And speaking of art imitates life, like we're talking about, this was an interesting piece of trivia. The Black Panther was created in July of 1966. 2 months before the founding of the Black Panther Party. Many people mistakenly assumed the name referred to the party, so the character was renamed the Black Leopard. However, neither the readers nor the creators cared for that title, and it didn't last long. They changed it back to Black Panther.
Yeah, I mean, the real story behind this is
Black Leopard doesn't have the same ring to it.
when Stanley was creating this, he was getting flack from whatever, white people or whites, oh, you can't do this. And so he decided then, I'm going to make the Black Panther and Wakanda the most powerful people in the whole Marvel universe.
In Trump America, I'm shocked. That's stunning.
It is stunning.
Wow.
But like, yeah.
Was
so,
this a Stan Lee created character, Black Panther?
Yeah, he did. In the 60s when there was, especially during all the civil rights stuffs, and some people were like, you know, you can't, when the comic came out, and then as you say, shortly thereafter, the Black Panther Party came out. He was taking a lot of flack in the 60s. So as he kept writing the character, he's like, oh, I'm going to make him more powerful.
Nice.
Which is great.
There you go.
So yeah, I if you're a Marvel fan, you'll love this.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So
I haven't seen the movie, but I do want to say it is really exciting to hear about how you describe this technologically advanced society, because I know that a lot of things that we have nowadays, including sliding doors and cell phones, were inspired by Star Trek. So let's come out with the flying cars already.
Yeah.
Yay. All
Alleviate
comic
traffic.
book nerds, get on it. Bring on the technology.
Oh, if we had flying cars, imagine how great traffic in LA would be. You could just
it'd be
get
great.
home in 15 minutes.
Right?
You could get to Santa Monica in less than an hour from here.
Right? That would be good. One can dream.
Shot first.